Today I'm gonna take a wide open photo walk and shoot everything at f1.4. Hi guys, my name is Matti Sulanto. I'm a photographer and a Lumix ambassador. And today is yet another photo walk, and today it's a wide open photo walk, and I'm gonna shoot everything at wide open f1.4 aperture. And I have a brand new lens, and I'm gonna talk about the lens in a bit. But before that, I'd like to find my first picture because I haven't taken any pictures on that lens yet. I just mounted it on my camera before I left home, but I didn't take any pictures. Okay, I took one picture accidentally when I was just checking the autofocus, but that was a mistake and it was not a real picture at all. But now I'm gonna find my first picture and then I'll tell you more about the lens. Okay, this could work. There are those rocks on the ice, and I think I can make a decent composition out of those as my first picture today. Let's see. I'm just gonna tilt my camera a little bit to get all those distracting elements out of the picture, and the ice has also some interesting patterns inside of it because it's partly melted and maybe refrozen again. And f1.4 125th of a second and ISO 100, like so. Okay, not a bad start for the day. I mean, those rocks form a reasonably interesting composition, and the patterns in the eyes also look nice. Not a masterpiece, but a good start, I would say. And now let me show you the lens that I have. It's the brand new Sigma 85mm f1.4 for the L-mount full frame cameras. This lens is not mine. This is on loan from Sigma, but this video is no way sponsored by Sigma. They were just kind enough to loan me this lens so I can try it out. Actually, this lens is not that big for what it is. Once you take the lens hood off, it's actually quite compact for a fast 85mm lens. And it's not too heavy either. But right now I'm seeing another picture there, so I'm just gonna grab that. I'll talk about the lens and the camera that I have today more after I've taken my next picture. I wonder how it was possible to take any pictures before we had tilt screens. Okay, I'm gonna put these rocks in the foreground and the buildings in the background. The buildings are gonna be very blurry because of the f1.4 aperture. So I'm at f1.4, again 125th of a second and ISO 100. And that's my second picture today, like so. I'm sure some of you may also think that it's a stupid idea to shoot everything at wide open aperture. But why not? We're supposed to have fun with our cameras, right? Not always so serious. Besides, if you buy one of these lenses and you pay for the fast aperture, you'd better use that fast aperture also. Otherwise you pay for nothing, right? But now I'm gonna find one more picture, at least one more picture for this fast 85mm lens. A short telephoto like this is really difficult lens for me for anything other than portraits. And if I use it for general photography like today, I find it really difficult to find suitable compositions or pictures for a lens like this. But behind me there's a really nice glow in the horizon, and I think I'm just gonna capture that and talk more after that. It's the darkest time of the year now, and I think the glow in the horizon describes that pretty well. The sun is out there somewhere, but it's barely visible. But now I'm gonna take that glow and f1.4 1/200 of a second, ISO 100, and like so. As you can probably tell just by looking at my exposure values that there's not a whole lot of light here. F1.4 1/200 of a second, ISO 100, and it's the brightest time of the day. We have about 6 hours of daylight around this time of the year. But there's another picture here waiting for me, so I'm just gonna take that before I freeze. It's kind of cold out here. Gonna take a picture of that ice-covered rock there, and it looks really beautiful because the water has kind of, how do you say, I don't know, the water has formed some nice beautiful ice over the rock, and it just looks good. And I'm just gonna use the tilt screen again, and I'm gonna say it again. How did we ever manage to take pictures without tilt screen before? Okay, this looks pretty. I'm just gonna have the horizon in the background, and now I'm at f1.4 1/400 of a second and ISO 100. Here's a nice close-up. These round ice pieces in the ice. I think this is gonna look really pretty. I just gotta be careful. This rock here is covered in ice, and it's really slippery. But like this, I can get a really pretty close-up of this ice formation. Whatever, I'm at f1.4 1/400 of a second and ISO 100 again. Yes. I really do like this Sigma lens, and it has some nice features, but I'm gonna have a separate video review of this lens later. Today I just wanted to take it out and try it for the first time and use the wide open f1.4 aperture. I'm gonna just take a picture of these. Is that hay or grass behind me? And then I'm gonna slowly start walking back to my car because it's really cold here. My face is getting stiff. I can't talk properly anymore. My fingers are almost numb. I can't handle my camera anymore properly. But at least one more picture. That background blur certainly is super smooth. I'm at 1.4 125th of a second again and ISO 100. A lot of icy pictures today, but that's how it is whenever you take a photo walk. You never know what you're gonna end up with until you're finished. One more picture and then I'm gonna head home, but these leaves covered in ice, they look just too good to pass. It's another detail shot, but I think it's worth it to take it before I go home. And I'm at f1.4 1/60th of a second, going a little bit closer like that, and maybe one more a little bit wider like so. Yes, not bad for the last shot of the day. Okay, I think I'm gonna call it a day. I'm freezing out here, but it was still fun to try the Sigma 85 1.4 full frame L-mount lens for the first time. and I can't wait to shoot more on this lens because I think I'm gonna like this lens, and I also want to try some of the other apertures as well, not just the fastest F1.4 aperture. Thank you so much for joining in for another photo walk, and I'll see you in the next one.